Claudio versus Ricky Starks and Big Bill. And I'm watching this match just thinking, they can't beat Danielson, and they can't beat Claudio.
They did. They beat
and
Danielson.
They can't beat Ricky. And they should beat Big Bill because he looked good on Wednesday. And Ricky Starks beats Bryan Danielson.
Well, it's set up Texas Death Match, so there's a reason for that.
Well, there is, but, I mean, I got a lot of questions, Dave.
Well, I do have to say this. I do have to say this, okay? And this is the key thing, actually, as far as AEW television right now, is it's very clear that they are trying to push a lot of new acts, and maybe too many at once. And I'm not really, I watch them, and it's I would rather they pushed a few, again, Joe Silva and I used to always talk about this when UFC went from having 50 guys on the roster to 150. And it's it doesn't matter how many people you have. You only are going to have a couple of people who can be stars. And you have to really focus on those stars or you're not going to have any stars. And the thing is that they have so many people on the AEW roster right now and they're focusing on so many of them. It's here's Shane Taylor with Lee Moriarty, and here's, Dutch and Vincent, you know what I mean? And they beat the Hardys, and it's they're throwing all these guys out there, and an average viewer is not going to, they're going to care about, they'll care about John Moxley, and of course you always want to make new people, but if you're going out there trying to make 10 new people, you're not going to make any new people. If you focus on, I want to make one new person, you can do that one. But I think that was the thing with this show is, it felt like they were using their established stars to put over new people. And that's good, except when you do it constantly. And all you're doing is, in many ways, like with Britt Baker and Chris Statlander, when that thing was over, it was kind of they've just been beating Britt Baker a lot. And I know that if she gets a big win, she could turn it around and all that because she's an established star. But it just felt, especially there, at the end, it just felt so flat. And when the Hardys lost, and, I know the Hardys, they're whatever. They're not going to be top guys now. But they get top guy reactions. And I just saw Vincent and Dutch, and it's just, they don't feel like people who have potential to me to be top characters. They're just guys, and there's so many of those guys. I felt like I was watching the show, and it's just a bunch of guys. And the thing, if they're going to turn their business around, the weakness is a bunch of guys. I just want to see stars, and you're not going to, with all those people, you're not going to get a lot of stars this way. And some of them I don't think have potential to be stars, but they're giving them wins to beat them later, or they're giving them wins to,
That's the whole thing. It's okay, Ricky Starks. You want to make Ricky Starks a star?
Ricky Starks is a star to me.
Well, he is, but
he's a star to me.
He beat CM Punk, and then he lost to CM Punk. And he was going to lose to CM Punk again, and then he lost to Bryan Danielson, and now he beat Bryan Danielson in a tag, and he's going to lose to Bryan Danielson next week.
In Texas Death.
And we're doing 50-50 here. Yeah, we're literally doing 50-50 with Ricky Starks.
Yeah, but what you want to do? Just beat him all in every match?
No, what I want to do is also not beat Bryan Danielson when you're selling a dream match with Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. coming up at the pay-per-view October 1st, which is 2 weeks away, and he just did a job at a tag match to Ricky Starks.
Yeah, but I think the idea is since he's going to win the Texas Death Match, that's okay, and Ricky Starks gets a lot more out of going 50-50 with Bryan Danielson than he does beating, Shane Taylor Productions or any one of those million guys. You know what I mean? It's that doesn't bother me as much as the, just the constant of trying to introduce so many new characters rather than, really focus on your, because again, for them to turn this thing around, they need big programs with money guys, and you can introduce new people. And I think Ricky Starks is one of them into that mix, and they've done it, so that's good. But some people here, I just don't feel, they have that potential. And even if they did, by having so many on TV every week, they're going to get lost in the shuffle, and they're not going to, get that concerted push to become stars because they're not going to get the TV time and the interview time. They're just going to go out there and do 1-minute matches. And again, some of them do have the potential, but I just don't think all of them do.
A couple of segments with